My name is Maya, and I'm 26 years old. Today, I want to open up my life to you. This is a story about love, trust, and finding the courage to walk away when your heart begs you to stay. I hope it reminds you that even in your darkest moment, you have the strength to choose yourself. It started on a warm afternoon at my cousin's wedding. The hall was glowing, full of laughter and light. People were talking, eating, dancing, the music was loud, and everyone seemed to be lost in joy. I was there with my family and friends, laughing without a single worry in the world. Then, in the middle of all that noise, something pulled my eyes toward a corner of the room. A man was standing there, completely alone, tall, dark-haired, with a warm, gentle smile. He kept glancing my way, but he never came over to speak. It felt strange. While everyone else danced and celebrated, he just stood there in silence, watching. There was something different about him, something that made me curious in a way I couldn't explain. A few days after the wedding, my phone buzzed with a message from a number I didn't recognize. "Hi, Maya. I saw you at the wedding. I'd love to talk to you sometime." I stared at it, confused, and typed back, "Who is this?" The reply came fast. "It's Ethan, the man from the wedding. You looked beautiful. I'd really like to get to know you." His words made me smile without meaning to. He was polite, warm, easy to talk to. I felt a flutter of excitement and decided to reply. From that day on, we talked every single day. Ethan always made me laugh, and I found myself looking forward to every message. As the days passed, I grew comfortable with him like I'd known him for years. Then, after just 1 week, he wrote something that made my heart race. "Maya, I think you're the one for me. I want to marry you." I was stunned. We barely knew each other. "We haven't even met properly," I wrote back. "How can you say that?" His answer came instantly. "I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like we're meant to be together. Please trust me. I'll make you happy. I already love you." His words felt so sincere that somehow I believed them. Maybe it was the way he spoke, or maybe I just wanted to believe in love again. I said yes. We had a small, simple wedding, just a few close friends and family. I wore a beautiful white dress, and Ethan stood there in a dark suit, looking happier than I'd ever seen him. I told myself, I've found the perfect man. Our life together began with so much joy. Ethan was affectionate and thoughtful. He'd surprise me with small gifts, leave sweet notes around the house, and constantly tell me how beautiful I was. I felt lucky. Every single day, I thanked whatever force in the universe had given me a husband like him. But after a few months, things began to shift. Ethan started coming home late from work. He said he was busy, and at first I believed him. Slowly, though, he stopped making time for us. Our conversations grew shorter, and he seemed distracted, distant. He also started hiding his phone from me, something he'd never done before. Then one night, he left his phone on the table while he showered. Something in my chest told me to look. I hesitated, but worry and curiosity won. I picked it up and opened his messages. What I found shattered me completely. There were romantic texts between Ethan and another woman. She called him my love and wrote about how much she missed him. I couldn't believe what I was reading. He had never once texted me like that, not even when we first met. What hurt even more was that I knew her. She was from my hometown, and I remembered hearing she'd been involved with Ethan before we ever got married. Tears filled my eyes as I sat there feeling betrayed and completely lost. That night, when Ethan walked through the door, I showed him the messages. My hands were shaking, my voice cracked as I asked, "Ethan, what is this?" He froze. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't want you to find out this way. It was a mistake." "A mistake?" I shouted. "You promised to love only me. How could you do this?" He kept apologizing, begging me to forgive him. "Please, Maya," he said. "I was wrong. It'll never happen again. Give me another chance." I didn't know what to do. I felt broken and confused. I thought of our 2 children, a boy and a girl who needed both their parents. For their sake, I decided to give Ethan another chance. I told myself people make mistakes, that maybe he would truly change. For a little while, things did get better. Ethan came home earlier, spent more time with me and the kids, and seemed loving again. I started to believe we could fix our marriage, but sadly, it didn't last. Slowly, Ethan slipped back into his old habits. He came home late again, made excuses, lied about where he'd been. Something inside me kept whispering that things weren't right. One day, I caught him texting again, and it was the same woman. My stomach turned. I knew I couldn't keep living this way. I decided to follow him one evening. I found him parked outside a coffee shop, sitting in his car with her. They were laughing, holding hands, acting like a couple in love. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My heart broke all over again, and this time, there was no excuse that could fix it. When he came home, I confronted him one last time. "Ethan," I said, trying to stay calm, "I saw you with her. I know everything." He looked at me, eyes wide, then dropped his head. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't want you to find out." But this time, I knew sorry wasn't enough. I had already given him a second chance, and he had broken my heart all over again. I realized that if I stayed, he would only keep hurting me. I deserve better. My children deserve better. So I packed our bags and left. I moved back into my parents' house with my 2 kids. Explaining to them why I left their father wasn't easy. At first, even my own parents struggled to accept it. "You have children, Maya," they said. "Maybe you should forgive him. Maybe he'll change." But deep in my heart, I knew I couldn't go back. I had to be strong, not just for myself, but for my children. They needed to see their mother being brave, not broken. Eventually, I made the hardest decision of my life. I filed for divorce. It wasn't easy. I cried through so many nights, wondering if I was doing the right thing. But every time I looked at my children's faces, I knew I was making the right choice. I wanted to give them a better life, one built on love, honesty, and respect. I decided to move abroad to find better work and better opportunities. I worked hard, sometimes juggling 2 jobs at once, determined to build a strong future for my kids and myself. In the beginning, it was incredibly hard. I missed home. I missed having my family close. I missed having someone to lean on. But as time passed, I grew stronger. I learned to depend on myself. I learned that it's far better to be alone than to stay with someone who doesn't respect you. Today, I'm proud of the woman I've become. I'm stronger, wiser, and more sure of myself than ever before. I don't regret my decision. Walking away from Ethan was one of the hardest choices I've ever made, but it was also the best one. I've also learned to love myself again. I understand now that real love isn't about promises or pretty words. It's about actions, respect, and honesty. I will never settle for less than that again. My children are growing up watching a mother who stands up for what's right. They're happy, healthy, and full of dreams, and seeing them smile gives me the strength to keep moving forward. Life isn't always easy. It's full of challenges, heartbreak, and impossible decisions. But with courage, we can get through anything. We have to believe in ourselves and trust that better days are coming. This is my story, a story of love, betrayal, pain, and finally, strength. I hope it reminds you that no matter how hard life gets, you have the power within you to make the right choice. You have the strength to start over, and you deserve to be truly loved and respected.